Hello everyone, it's Jamal Thomas. Welcome to the Progressive Soapbox. So I have a question, just interesting question, odd question. I did a video earlier today attacking CNN because CNN attacked someone who was in my sandbox, Jimmy Dore. I wish I was a bigger person than to not just kind of fly off the handle and punch somebody in the nose when they punch somebody in my caveat or my group in the nose. But it is what it is. This is what we are. All of us have wishes. I do have one question though. I mean, I have 11,000 people. I don't have a huge amount of platform, but I do have a platform. And when I think that CNN is attacking us for political reasons, about political reasons, I mean, they want their narrative of events to be the only narrative of events. And organizations or channels like Jimmy Dore's and some other left-leaning channels that try to get across actual information because of CNN's failure to get across an actual or factual information. And let me explain what I mean by that. When perfect, emblematic of what I mean, their point of view. When Jake Tapper has a conversation with Tulsi Gabbard, and Tulsi Gabbard reveals to Jake Tapper that the United States has been giving weapons and munitions to terrorists who've been raping and pillaging and killing with those munitions that the United States have been providing. Jake Tapper's response to this is not to be horrified. It's not to say, oh my God, I can't believe that the United States have been doing that. That is a horrific thing. And thank you, Tulsi Gabbard, for going there and doing the job that we ourselves weren't doing. The representative of the United States has to go to that particular place because CNN, with its billions of dollars and all of the resources at its disposal, couldn't necessarily find time to actually do their goddamn jobs. Jake Tapper should have been horrified by this. Instead, Jake Tapper becomes a yammering idiot and tries to explain reflexively, almost as if scripted, the government's line. Is Jake Tapper incompetent? Or is Jake Tapper part of the scheme to essentially not give the American population an actual point of view, an actual contextual point of view? What is TYT's position on this? I mean, I've come out here over and over again, and I've made this case that Jimmy Dore should not leave TYT because I like the idea that he's with a larger media network. I like the idea that he has that larger platform, that mouthpiece where he can punch away from. And even though they may disagree on certain things, there are going to be things to which they completely fall in line in agreement with. What about this? They called them a goddamn conspiracy theorist. They called them a conspiracy theorist because they challenged Russia's narrative, the mainstream media's narrative of events. Meaning, you should prove to us that there were chemical weapons there, not bomb, and then say we'll find chemical weapons later, which is what Mathis has said. He said, we don't know that they had chemical weapons, meaning the Syrian government, back in 2017 when they bombed, meaning they bombed somebody who they didn't necessarily have evidence that the person did what they bombed him for. And in this case, that they're still looking for evidence. That's good. The disposition of, you should prove your case first, before we just accept it as the word of God, is a disposition that any thinking, rational person who's been around for the last 20 years should take. That's not a conspiracy theory. It's not a conspiracy theory that Mathis said they don't know if the Syrian government did it. They don't have evidence that Bashar al-Assad did it. It's not a conspiracy right now that they don't necessarily even know if a chemical weapon strike took place, let alone if the Syrian government did it. It is not a conspiracy theory to ask the logical questions associated with things and ask questions that the press, the media, that your organization should be asking but are not asking. I make the point that the reason that a Jimmy Dore exists is because of the failings and the failures of CNNs of the world. I do have a question, again, what is the disposition of TYT on one of their flag show hosts getting attacked by CNN in this way and being slandered and smeared as a conspiracy theorist? I checked the network. Check it with me, perhaps. I missed something. But I didn't see anything. Let's update it. And just so you guys know what I'm talking about. YouTube ran ads on channels, brand extremists. They compared, in this article, would in one breath talk about Alex Jones and right-wingers like Nazis and whatnot. And then ads also appeared on Jimmy Dore's show, a far-left YouTube channel that peddles conspiracy theories such as the idea that Syrian chemical weapons attacks are hoaxes. This is not that they're a hoax, asshole. I would imagine that there may have been a chemical strike, at the very least in one of those cases. They haven't established it in this case. In the previous one, they haven't established who did it. They don't know, but much more likely, probably the rebels. But that's kind of besides the point. They've put him in an article with conspiracy theorists like Alex Jones and far right-wingers like Nazis, and added that he's a conspiracy theorist. Yes, they know he's on the map, so that's a good thing. But what are they putting him on a map for? Watchdog, Barbara Bush, marijuana, black guy deserved it, John Adirola, Trump's lawyer, dating app, Trump's make a fool of Nikki Haley, getting back to their norm. Here we are. Republicans, Trump, something about Sanders. So no. They attack one of your flag show hosts and nothing. And to make a larger point, when I say flag show hosts, look who's the first show that shows up in their bunch. Jimmy fucking Dore. Jimmy fucking Dore. 342,961 subscribers for a news show. CNN has made the decision to attack that news show that is on the network of the Young Turks, who proudly shows him off as one of their main shows. And yet, Cenk Uygur, TYT, for whatever reason, don't find a need to respond to such a thing. They made a video 3 hours ago. How difficult would it have been for Cenk to pop his head in like Cenk normally pops his head in for some random shit that takes place, to say, it is atrocious that you would attack our host in this way. He may have a difference of opinion than I have on this particular issue, but in no way is he conspiracy theorist. He details what he's talking about. He shows you the articles that he's using for this, and he's giving you his analysis of what is taking place in an honest, comedic way. You don't have to disagree with Jimmy Dore to not take that tact that he's a conspiracy theorist. Paging Cenk Uygur. I ended on this. The moment that you found out that they attacked your host should have been a moment that you've been on YouTube screaming your head off, because that's your fucking guy and that guy's in your sandbox. And you, on a flashing network for the left, supposedly, should not allow something like this to just go. It's a big fucking deal. That's what I'm saying. It is good that Jimmy Dore is such a mouthpiece that he can now be somewhat put up in this way, meaning they know he's there. It is bad that you, supposedly the person he's in your sandbox, you have a mouthpiece, you have 4 million subscribers, up to nearly 4 million subscribers. Just to be accurate, I want to be accurate. Yeah, nearly 4 million, 3,700,000 subscribers. Why would you let that slide? You shouldn't. That's all I'm saying. You shouldn't. There should be a video tonight. It should have been the moment that you found out about it, bashing CNN, going after CNN for calling your guy a conspiracy theorist, and revitalizing the image of one of your flagship shows. That's a fail, Uygur. Just saying. All right, guys.